And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and heal their land.
Because we, as Americans, have the capacity now, as we've had in the past, to do whatever needs to be done to preserve this last and greatest bastion of freedom.
Welcome to the 912 Project Connecticut, We the People. I'm Joni Lambert, Connecticut State Coordinator for the 912 Project. The 912 Project is a place for you and other like-minded Americans worried about our country. Many people realize something isn't right in America today, but can't quite put their finger on what the problem is. Our goal is to unite Americans across the Constitution state, taking us back to the principles set forth by the Founding Fathers and the Constitution, and providing education about our history as a nation. The 912 Project was designed to bring us back to the place where we were on September 12, 2001. The day after America was attacked, we weren't obsessed with red states, blue states, or political parties. We were united as Americans, standing together to protect the greatest nation ever created. Many people in Connecticut still aren't familiar with what the 912 Project is, so we sent Morgan from the New London 912 Project out to find out who folks think we are.
Hello, my name is Morgan, and I live in New London. And today I'm walking around New London in this chilly weather to ask people if they know what the 912 Project is. Do you know what the 912 Project is, sir?
No, I do not.
Have you ever heard of the 912 Project before?
No, I haven't, actually.
Are you a New London resident?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard of the 912 Project?
912. No.
I'm here in Sarge's comic book store, which is 124 State Street, New London, Connecticut. And do you know what the 912 Project is?
I'm going to say no.
So, and you heard what the 912 Project was about?
Yeah.
But you didn't know what it was about before?
No, not before 10 minutes ago.
The 912 Project is a relatively new project in Connecticut, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to educate people on our nation's history. And we also do charity work. We do some work with the National Guard, getting toys for kids over Christmas.
That is definitely cool.
So, what do you think of the 912 Project so far?
I like it.
All right.
For it.
Do you like the sound of the project?
So far, yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, okay, nice.
So it sounds like a good project to you?
Yeah, definitely does.
Okay.
You guys got a website or anything?
Yeah, we do. I can give you a card.
What we do is go back to the values of the Constitution, go to the original Constitution. If you look at many of the laws and bills passed today, they're blatantly unconstitutional.
So as you can see, residents of New London are receptive to the idea of the 912 Project. It's a great city with a lot to offer, and I think that if we are able to educate voters about American history, then we'll be able to empower them to make positive changes, not just here in New London, but all around America. Because that's what America is all about, empowering the people.
One of the purposes of this television program is to let Connecticut residents know who we are and why we're here. We're not the Tea Party, although many 912 members also participate in these patriotic grassroots events. We are based on the 9 principles and 12 values of the 912 Project. The 9 principles and 12 values of the 912 Project. Principle number 1, America is good. Principle number 2, I believe in God, and He is the center of my life. Principle number 3, I must always try to be a more honest person than I was yesterday. Principle number 4, the family is sacred. My spouse and I are the ultimate authority, not the government. Principle number 5. If you break the law, you pay the penalty. Justice is blind, and no one is above it. Principle number 6. I have a right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, but there is no guarantee of equal results. Principle number 7. I work hard for what I have, and I will share it with whom I want. Government cannot force me to be charitable. Principle number 8. It is not un-American for me to disagree with authority or to share my personal opinion. Principle number 9. The government works for me. I do not answer to them. They answer to me. The 12 values: honesty, reverence, hope, thrift, humility, charity, sincerity, moderation, hard work, courage, personal responsibility, and gratitude. These are the 9 principles and 12 values of the 912 Project. Earlier this year, a controversy crossed the nation about what the content should be in children's school textbooks.
The Texas State Board of Education today made a decision that will make history by rewriting the books on it for nearly 5 million Texas school children. But Texas is such a force in the purchase of textbooks. Where Texas goes, the nation usually follows.
I've seen the new amendment that is being offered that would actually contrast and compare the words separation of church and state with the actual words of the Constitution. I think that's an excellent idea.
In your efforts to make changes, you have done inadvertent harm. You should correct these and other errors by vetting your changes before a group of specialists, including members of the writing teams.
But that is what started this mess in the first place. When the current curriculum was submitted to a review board of teachers, they recommended pulling out Christmas and replacing it with a Hindu holiday and removing partially or wholly Alexander Graham Bell and Albert Einstein. That's when the board got involved.
Many parents have serious concerns as to whether children are getting an education in American history based in fact or on political agendas. The 912 Project of Connecticut has started a program called That's History, Kids, where our volunteers read books about the Founding Fathers, the Constitution, and other topics on American history to groups of school-aged children. The books we choose were all created using reliable source materials and resources, such as the founders' own words from documents they left us. If you have a group of children you'd like us to share with, or if you'd like to volunteer to help with the program, please contact us by emailing info@912projectct.com.
My grandson always tells me I worry about him too much. And of course I do. I'm his grandma. Look at how good my teeth turned out. Well, I was worried sick when he came home from Afghanistan. He came back wounded. It wasn't a wound you could see. It was a wound inside. Post-traumatic stress disorder. My T couldn't sleep. He was angry all the time. He felt like he didn't fit in anywhere. Then I heard about this group, Wounded Warrior Project. People helping warriors like T. So I figured who better to help my grandson than people who could understand what he'd been through. Now, I don't know what they do there, but my T is smiling again. So I figured they must be good people.
1 out of every 5 warriors return from the battlefield with post-traumatic stress disorder. Help support them at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Thank you.
Did you know that 26% of Americans do not know what country we broke away from in 1776? 26%. We've assembled a short quiz on the history of our founding. These questions are from the National Center for Constitutional Studies and are rated at a 5th grade level. Ready? Let's begin. Question number 1. Who is referred to as the father of the American Revolution? A. George Washington. B. Patrick Henry. Or C. Samuel Adams? The answer is C. Samuel Adams. Number 2. Just weeks before his death, Benjamin Franklin issued his last public appeal. What did it concern? A. Slavery. B. War. C. Religion. The answer is A. Slavery. Question number 3. What kind of government does the United States have? A. Pure democracy. B. Democratic republic. Or C. Socialist. The answer is B. Democratic republic. Number 4. Where did the final surrender of the British to the Americans take place, ending the Revolutionary War? A. Yorktown. B. Gettysburg. C. Jamestown. The answer is A. Yorktown. Number 5. Before the Constitution was ratified, what document governed the United States of America? A. The Magna Carta. B. The Articles of Confederation. Or C. The Declaration of Independence. The answer is B. The Articles of Confederation. Number 6. General Washington had his troops listen to the stirring words of a famous patriotic writer before attacking Trenton. Who was that writer? A. Thomas Paine. B. Thomas Jefferson. C. Patrick Henry. The answer is A. Thomas Paine. Number 7. Where do we find the words, "We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor"? A. The Articles of Confederation. B. The Declaration of Independence. Or C. The Constitution of the United States. The answer is B. The Declaration of Independence. Number 8. Who was the President of Congress when Congress approved the Declaration of Independence? A. John Adams. B. Thomas Jefferson. Or C. John Hancock. The answer is C. John Hancock. Number 9. Who initiated a forceful attack in his pamphlet Common Sense upon two institutions, the British Constitution and hereditary monarchs, calling them the base remains of two ancient tyrannies? A. John Adams. B. Patrick Henry. Or C. Thomas Paine. The answer is C. Thomas Paine. And finally, number 10. How long did the Revolutionary War last? A. 6 years. B. 7 years. Or C. 8 years. The answer is C. 8 years. Understanding our founding and our history helps us to understand ourselves. The founders understood that things would go wrong in time, and there would be those who seek to undermine the Constitution and demean our liberty. One of the ways the 912 Project Connecticut is seeking to help is by educating people on our history. On January 20th in Windsor, Connecticut at 7 p.m., we are offering a 2-hour video seminar called Principles of Liberty. Here is Dr. Earl Taylor, President of the National Center for Constitutional Studies, to tell us about it.